Take off my Jordan number 3s and place them back in the shoebox. Granny yelling after me, telling me to come to eat fish and grits, my favorite dish. Good. She asked me where I've been, I told her on the block. On the block, I told her on the block. She asked me where I've been, and I told her on the block. On the block, I told her on the block. I told her on the block. Life ain't always bad on the block. Me and the homies used to slap box, drink beer.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is the King and I Life podcast, and we are back.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yes, my man. What's good with you, man?
Life is good. Life is good, man. I just got me a good workout in, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Oh, you showing off?
No, man. The pounds have caught up with me, and things, you look at yourself in the mirror, you be like, man, what the hell are you doing? This isn't us. This isn't us. We are so far from where we used to be. So it's time to get back on track, man.
I feel you.
So what's good with you? What's good with you?
Ain't nothing out, man. I'm just trying to survive out here in these streets. That's all I'm trying to do, man.
That's it.
That's it.
Keep your head above water.
It. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the King and I Life podcast.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yes, it's your boys, Soul Touch the Poet, and my brother in here,
Son Solex.
And as you all know, definitely hit us up on the website www.KingAndEyeLife.com. You can find a link to all our podcast episodes, our videos, links to podcast platforms that we're on. Son Solex, what else can you find on there?
You guys can also find our email. So if you want to be a guest on the show, or if you have a topic you want us to chop up, please reach out to KingAndEye369@gmail.com. Again, it's KingAndEye369@gmail.com. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Before it slips my mind. Right. Definitely go on to Apple Podcasts and hit that subscription up for Unchained episodes where we just let loose and we talk unfiltered over there. So yeah, go check out that subscription.
Yeah, we take the gloves off over there.
Yeah, take the gloves off and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah. So we got a little decent topic for y'all tonight. We're gonna be talking about priorities.
Yes, sir. We actually did a segment a while back, but that was a pre-recording. And this one here was kind of like another one that, our listeners asked us to bring back. So here we are.
Yeah. Priorities is a hell of a thing in the world today. I think a lot of people out there, from the youngest to the oldest, are losing sight of priorities. They're not prioritizing their lives in many aspects, and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where, we could say that it's a changing world. It's a whole new world, but
like the song, A Whole New World.
I think it's one of those things that people, again, like you said, are losing sight of what's important to them. It's all about being out there in the eye and track of things there, in the public eye.
Yeah, but we're going to get into many aspects of that. So while we're here, as we all travel through different stages in our lives, we all have to place importance on certain tasks, thoughts, and goals, etc. For many, this can be grossly understated or not taken seriously, which in turn may cause many to fall short of what they should what they should or could be doing in life. Let's talk about it.
For sure. So, how do you define priorities?
Well, um, I looked up the dictionary definition earlier. It's kind of slipping my mind a little bit, but priorities. Um, priorities. Again, these are tasks, thoughts, goals um, that you should put in an order of importance or precedence that you have to take care of in order to get to a different stage in life, a different mindset, a different financial situation, emotional situation, relationship situation. So yeah, so for me, it's those things that you need to do in order to progress in life.
Definitely. Uh, just to piggyback off of that, I would say least or list of the most important things to the least important things, just to narrow it down. Um, Again, we get so busy with life that we sometimes lose sight of the more important things. We're out here hustling and bustling and trying to either further our careers or um, further get our money up or whatever the case may be, man. It's everybody's out here grinding.
Mm. Yeah, but people when it comes to that, um, people put priorities on crazy things. Um, and that goes into what factors influence priorities. And that differs from person to person. Uh, some people put a priority on a piece of ass, and that goes for men and women. And, you know, when they do that, they miss out on other things that they should be doing. Um, some people put partying as a priority, and that kind of throws things off. Um, you know, as a kid, we're not too abreast on what our priorities should be. And instead of paying attention in school and doing all that other stuff, put our priorities on being popular and hanging out, being seen, stuff like that. And,
True.
that sets us on a different path.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's one of those things that as you get older, you start realizing, wait a minute, that's not exactly what I should be doing right now. I need to find a better way to utilize my time.
Hmm.
So I definitely get that.
So, other things that um, could factor into uh, influencing priorities is one of the biggest things is your upbringing. Your family structure and stuff like that. Um, I think I can say, or even speak from a little bit of experience, that if you're not raised in a manner, in a way in which you are taught to prioritize, you're probably going to fall behind the power curve in that. Um, because that structure is not there,
Hmm.
you just don't learn it at a young age. And, it does set you back. Like, I really didn't, get that type of structure or anything until I joined the army. So when I was in basic training and stuff, and I was 18, I knew what I needed to do, middle school, high school, and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
as far as anything outside of that, I really didn't get that. So when I joined the army, basic training, and all that stuff, you know, it was a priority structure and the way to do things and how to build from one place to get to another. So that's why I pretty much learned my prioritizing.
No, I could definitely see that with the military. I know the choice but to fall in line. But I'll say my first go around with learning to prioritize was when I first started college.
Hmm.
Um, Classes were, to me, I thought they were intense. Um, and the crazy part about it, there were certain people who just partied all the way through. It's like,
Mm.
do your thing, man, do your thing. But me, I was so focused on, like, when I left class, I went straight to my room, got me a bite to eat, and I'm studying.
Hmm.
That was my goal right there. Like, for me, the partying and stuff was cool later on, but uh, classes were definitely my priority at that point.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So this is going to be a tough one. When was the first time you set a priority, and did that affect your future methods of prioritization?
Uh, I'll say the first time I set a priority was when I moved from Virginia to Alabama and found out there's an exit exam. Like, Virginia, fuck yeah, I no damn exit exam. You just
Uh,
pass your classes and you good.
mhm,
In Alabama, you had to pass again these exit exams with a certain grade level or a certain percentile, as they say,
mhm.
or otherwise you're just going to get a certificate of participation, a certificate of okay, you went to school and you learned something, but you didn't learn everything, but
Right.
you
Right.
can't. So here's your certificate of participation. I'm like, what the?
See
I
you
was
next year.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm not gonna do that. Are you crazy?
Oh, man.
So they give you three exams, two tries. If it's
Mhm,
your senior year, they don't give a damn where you moved in or what's your situation. Even though uh, I believe you start in the 11th grade, you get three chances. No, there are three different exams at the beginning of
mhm,
the year and three at the end of the year. So if you miss anything at the beginning of the year, you can pick it up at the end of the year. So
mhm,
again, with this being my last year of school, I had to pass the classes or the exams that I uh, didn't pass at the beginning of the year. So there were three exams. I passed one of them, and the other two were by a couple points or a few points. And
mhm,
anyway, I was so freaking disappointed because to me, it's like this is your senior year. You just want to,
mhm.
have as much fun as you can.
Right.
But
Chase girls.
yeah. So anyway, I pretty much after that initial test, I studied. I was going to school early, leaving school late, lunchtime. It just didn't matter to me. I'm like, man, I am not finna fail this shit. So
Mm,
anyway, sure enough, at the end of the year, test comes around, pass both of them. That was a major freaking lift of pressure off of my shoulders. So that was the beginning of me learning how to prioritize in my life anyway.
mm. I don't know, man. I don't even know how to say, or I don't even remember when the first time I set a real priority.
Hmm.
Um, I guess I would say, hmm, I guess graduating high school. I guess I would say that. But then at the same time, I really didn't take it seriously. Meaning, I applied myself, but I really didn't, apply myself. But it was a loose priority because I was kind of like threatened. You better graduate, you know, or or I'm gonna kick your ass. It
Damn
was
it.
it was one of those type things. So I guess that was the first priority I set. But as far as how it affected my future methods of prioritization, um, it affected it because I had to actually relearn and learn how to prioritize at the same time.
Right.
And it took me well after my active duty career to actually give a damn about setting priorities and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because to a degree, I really didn't take a lot of things seriously because I wasn't necessarily forced to take a lot of serious things seriously. So it affected my prioritization because in that way. Um, but once I started getting into my late 20s, early mid 30s, then it was like, all right, I got to get my head straight and really start you know prioritizing a few things that I was not prioritizing before. So
Right.
yeah, that's how that went.
Wow. That's what's up. So, did that affect your future methods or prioritization?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Oh, okay. What were some of your priorities as a teenager?
As a teenager, outside of half-ass passing my classes, um, trying to get a few dollars in my pocket, trying to hang out, stuff like that. I would say for me, being in Germany, it was like I personally did not, I personally did not have more priorities other than that. Um, yeah, that was the basis of my priorities as a teenager was, hey, hanging out, getting a few dollars in my pocket, and graduating school, and stuff like that. Yeah, and I guess another priority was getting out of the house, even though I really didn't have a plan or know what the hell to do or how to plan for it. So those are some of my priorities as a teenager.
Um, Back then, I really didn't have any prioritizations. It was for me was just working and trying to get out of school and enjoy what last little bit of being someone without responsibilities, other than the job, was for me. Um, Other than that, it was just chasing girls. That was my thing. Get
Oh man,
it in, as they say.
yeah.
But
Ugh. So education. We kind of touched on high school. You kind of touched on college. For me, college was not a priority until after I got off active duty. So that would have been like what? Ooh, wait, I didn't go to college until like 97. I graduated 91. I
mhm.
probably didn't start my first college class until 97, 98. Yeah, about 97, 98. Um, it was I wouldn't even say it was a priority. It was just something that I convinced myself that I needed to do. My head wasn't even really in it.
All right.
Um, I first went to a community college. I changed my major like what, two times. Um, I was working. I was going to community college full time. I was working three jobs, um, and was just running the streets. So I really didn't take it all seriously. So plus I had I was in my like my real knucklehead years. That's when I was really like a knucklehead, and my priorities was all over the damn place. Like I got off active duty, came to Maryland, um, and every priority that I should have put in place and taken seriously, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna do this," but I put that shit over here because this is what I wanted to do, and I had a lot of wanted to do and a lot of should have done over here, then a lot of more I better do over here, and I like stuck fingertips over here, but I had my chest and my dick heading forward. So
Um, I don't know. It was once I left college and got a job. For me, it was just more of the same, really, because again, I just had the desire to have nice things at an early age.
mhm,
So I started working full time. Then I had a part time job, and then I was going to school again at night,
mhm,
and then I had another little part time gig. So I was always doing something to either further my education or make my pockets a little bit fatter. But
mhm,
um, other than that, just hanging out with friends and you know enjoying
mhm,
being young, I guess you could say.
mhm. Okay. So I didn't. So yeah, I went. I've been. Yeah, I've been to two different schools. I didn't get a degree. Yeah, I have damn near too many damn credits to even wrap my head around. Um, but yeah, didn't go to no Votech schools or anything like that. Partying. Uh, I can honestly say from like, damn, when I got to Maryland in '95, I think I partied, so to speak, for a good 6, 7 years straight. Um, Nothing too crazy, but I'm just going to say for me, it was irresponsible because, again, I had things I should do over here, things I better do over here, and things I want to do was right there. And it's like, I had a lot of setbacks and this, that, and the other because I really didn't take a lot of things seriously. Um, so yeah, yeah, that's what it was with the partying. What about you?
My thing was after graduating from technical college, um, everything after that, I would get right there at the end, and then my money would run out. So by the time I got my money back up, I was interested in learning something new at that point.
Right.
So me and my wife were talking about it a while back. How many different colleges I've attended, and I've attended. I think we're at six different colleges altogether.
What the like, what
It's like I
you
would have the credits right there at the end. Money goes short, and then again, like I said, once my money got back right, I don't have an interest in that anymore.
wait. You attended six colleges, six
Yes,
different colleges.
yes, altogether, roughly.
Shit, man. Look here.
So,
My equivalent to you attending six colleges is me having five different majors. I, I started with mental health.
mhm.
I switched to business management. Then I stopped. Then I started again. I went for what was it? Um, God damn it, Homeland Security. Then I stopped, and it was something else, and then the last major I had was graphic communications. So yeah, five different majors, two different schools.
You did good, my man. You did good. I'll try to raffle off some of the ones I went to school for. One was psychology and art.
Mm,
Another one was ah, damn it, communication.
hmm
Another one was digital media art. Another
mm.
one was flight engineering.
Did you say
And
flight engineering?
yeah, flight engineering. Big mistake there. Big mistake.
Mm,
That requires way too much goddamn math, and I don't like math
mm,
like
mm,
that. That's probably why I never
mm.
went back. Um, and what else was it? There was one more. It'll come back to me later though. That's just a few of them.
The moral to the story when it comes to education,
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, and children out there, pay attention in school
yeah. Stick to
early,
priority.
early, because when you talk about flight engineering, I just shook my head because I know that's a lot of goddamn math.
Yeah,
And I have a literal math phobia. Like, I get anxiety when it comes to math. Now, I can balance a checkbook, I can balance a bank account, I can add, subtract, multiply, divide. I can do that. But when it comes to algebra and anything beyond that, miss me with that bullshit. I have begged and for people to take the class for me or whatever the case may be. I literally have a math phobia. Like, I am telling you, and that is my biggest hurdle for education. So if your priorities are not where they need to be, especially when it comes to that, because you have to be with the basic math, and move up and move up, move up. But if your priorities ain't there, you can kiss that goodbye. Um, and that is literally why one reason why I have changed my majors is because of math.
yeah, yeah. That's basically the last time I really took school seriously because math just discouraged me so damn much. And
Yeah.
I used to love math. That's the crazy part. But when
Better
I
than
got
me.
into that shit, I was like,
Mm,
what? 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 No, no, we're not gonna do that.
mm, 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 mm. Whew.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Nah. Mm-mm. Yeah. I ain't feeling
No,
it.
no,
Look, I'm sitting here about to have a panic attack thinking about it now.
yeah, everybody was telling me like, man, why'd you do that when you know you don't like math like that? I'm like, but I love to invent shit. I'm good at it.
Mm.
I design shit.
And I love tinkering with stuff. I
Yeah,
love technology, but the
okay.
math part, I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. And I
So,
heard they have a new math now.
oh yeah, I've seen that new math about 10 years ago, and I'm like, what is that? Like, is that Arabic? Like, is that Martian? Like, what is that? Like, I'm not doing that shit.
Mm.
And it's basic math that's different. No, like, no. Hey, what is that?
And if okay, never mind. I'm move on.
Oh my god! All right, so let's talk about priorities as an adult. What about your professional and your career? What about that? But how have your priorities been when it came to that?
Uh, only thing I can say is, growing up, my parents always taught me show up on time, show up ready to go to work.
Mm,
Um, it's funny to me now because even out of all the education that I got, is more like my technical skills are
hmm
the ones that have really benefited me the most. Um, I was in a corporate world for a little while, but it burned me out, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest about it. Um, but I don't know. I just learned that for me, with my experiences, when it comes down to working for someone else, you want to be one of those guys that stand out as
Mm-hmm.
far as like, this guy's dependable, he gets the job done, and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. So I've always tried to do, again, the best I can do at whatever position I'm at. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I learned that just because you take things seriously, that don't mean your employer takes you seriously.
Or even your coworkers.
Exactly. So it's kind of like I used to go above and beyond to get shit done, and then I realized that shit, it really don't matter, because if anything, it makes you alienated
Mm-hmm.
with your coworkers, because they feel like, okay, this motherfucker think he a superstar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just learned to show up on time, do your job, go home.
Mm.
How about you?
Um. Okay. So for me, like I said, when I joined the army, that was like, get my priorities together. But being that I was doing too much grown up shit that I had no real tutelage on, that kind of messed me up. So, and that's why I only did 4 years active duty. Um, but I will say from 95 when I got off active duty all the way up until 2006, um, I was job hunting. I always had a job. No, let me rephrase that. I was career hunting. I always had a job, like, and it wasn't always a job that I wanted to do. Like, I worked at the Gap warehouse for a temp agency until I got hired full time. I worked at Procter and Gamble warehouse with a temp agency. I worked at Sherwin Williams with a temp agency. Um, then I worked with this company called Nutramax with a temp agency till they hired me on full time. Left them, uh, worked at another temp agency with the check gallery, the people that make the custom checks.
Hmm.
Did that for about a year and a half or whatever. Then I started working for Baltimore City Health Department. Um, and I can honestly say that was like the first real job that I had.
Hmm.
Um, I did that from 2003 to 2006. Um, went to Iraq, came back, went back to that, and I was talking to my uncle, and he asked me how much I made. I was like, "Yeah, I make like 25,000 a year." He's like, "Oh, you need a new job," and he was like, "You need to come down and work with me in DC." And I was like, "Okay." So I got that job in 2006, and I've been working there since then. So when it came to me getting, and I'm glad that he reached out and linked me to that, because that's when I took a career seriously and I made it a priority to. It's like, hey, I was in the little boy tax bracket. Now I'm in the big boy tax bracket, and I have nowhere to go but up. And it had in that job, because I had to get a security clearance, that forced me to put a lot of my priorities that I should and better be taken care of right there, because it's like I need to keep that security clearance, to keep that job, to keep that income and stay in that tax bracket.
Right. Yeah, it's completely and totally different. When you go up there, yeah, you learn real quick that you better have priorities.
Oh
So,
yeah.
married or single, what are your priorities in both scenarios?
Married, make it through the next goddamn day. Um and I say that because the first two times, the first time I just was not ready. I didn't. My priority was make sure my child grew up with a father. That was my priority, but I didn't have the fundamentals, so
Hmm.
that didn't work out for me. The second one was me more so. All right, I'm gonna get married, and I really didn't have any priorities when it came to that. So I have to bite the bullet on that one because my priorities was out of fucking whack, like way out of whack. Um, the third time, it was like, all right, I'm doing it. I'm gonna do all of this. I fell short the first two times, so the third time, I'm gonna be head in the game, and I'm gonna make sure this is a priority. Make sure that I'm the head of household. That I take care of this. I take care of that. But then, fortunately and unfortunately, the way things are designed, you either have to have that right person with you to help you, you know, not help you, assist you with prioritizing the unit.
Right.
Because if I have priorities for us and our priorities are not aligned, then somebody's priorities are going to go left or right, and it's just not going to work. Um, at single, my priority, I would say my biggest priority at being single is peace of mind, um, and not settling too much either way. Just
Right.
well, whoever I might deal with, or just settling alone. Because when you're single, that's the best time for you to really set your personal priorities straight. And that's how I feel about that.
Mhm. Well, I'll go with single first. When I was single, my main priorities were just money,
Hmm.
work, and having fun. So if that meant traveling or riding motorcycles or fast cars or fast women, that's where I was just doing me. Um,
Uh-huh.
After my first marriage, I think I kind of grew up a lot and realized that that shit is work.
Yeah.
So I got married again, and that I'm learning or have learned over the years that it takes patience on both people's
Hmm.
part. Again, that shit is full time, 24/7 every day. There is no breaks. There is no let me put this shit down. I'll come back to it. Is you in it?
Hmm.
Um, so with being married, I learned that my wife and my child comes before me.
Hmm.
I make sure my bills are paid. They have what they need. As far as me personally, I still have hobbies and certain things I like to do, but I just don't get a chance to do them as much,
Right.
um, unfortunately. But again, I'm fine with that because I know eventually, once my child is of age and can take care of itself, then I'll get back to those things that I enjoy doing.
Hmm.
But yeah, it just taught me that you got to put other people before yourself.
Right.
Unfortunately, a lot of times you as the man you're going to come last, but it's a well worth investment, I think,
Hmm.
because I've always, grew up under the impression that family comes first, everything else
Hmm.
is secondary.
Hmm. So let me ask you this.
All right.
'Cause this is something that I struggle with, being single.
All right.
Um, and I feel at times I'm kind of stingy when it comes to that, because I
Mm-hmm.
say to myself, I don't want to get married, and I don't want to be necessarily tied down, because um, I have things I want to do, like hobbies and shit. Like, you know, I like to buy my little tech shit, and all this, that, and the other. And sometimes I get pulled to the car, like, God damn, you need to stop buying shit. So when it comes to that,
Uh,
do you feel like it's a big sacrifice on you being married, and do you feel like you'd be more fulfilled single because your priority would be you, and you could just worry about you, as opposed to being married and you'd be like, all right, I got these hobbies and shit that I want to do. I want to do this, I want to do that, but it's like family first.
Um, there are moments, I'll be honest, where I feel like I do want to put myself first, and there are times when I have to put myself first because
Hmm.
um, if you don't put yourself first, then you're gonna find yourself with nothing to give.
Hmm.
So, as far as like my hobbies, I'm a big car and motorcycle guy. So, I have my projects, which some of them are on the back burner, but my main one is in my garage right now that I'm working on. I'm just at that point where I feel like I'd rather see them happy than to see myself happy.
Oh shit, that's a tough one.
It is. It's very tough because there are times when I'm like, man, fuck, I don't want to
Mm.
do this. I don't want to do this. I want to be selfish, but then in the
Mm.
end, I just come to, you signed up for this shit, right?
Right.
So with that being said, again, I just try to provide the best life I can for them. I want my son to be able to look back, on his childhood and his, days of growing up and like, damn, my dad really went ham for me.
Right. Yeah.
And then there are times, when I do tend to be selfish, meaning, I just have to take time for myself to get shit I need to done.
Yeah.
But that's just part of being a man. You need that space to,
Mm.
be creative or to have that outlet. And I'm
Yeah.
like you. I love tech things. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
really do. I wish I had more time to do those type of things, but again, priorities.
Mm. So when it comes to traveling and vacation, how do you prioritize with that?
Usually, me and my wife will discuss, where it is we want to go and how many days we're going to take. Um,
Hmm.
so we try to at least do about 3 or 4 vacations a year, even if it's just a weekend getaway, as they say. But we try to spread them out, throughout the year. So
Hmm.
when we feel like we need a break, it's there.
Right. 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 Um, for me, when it comes to traveling vacation, my priorities are just all over the place. Like I have places that I really, really, really want to go, but I never make it a priority to plan for it. And I have no idea why.
Hmm.
Um, Also, with that being said, um, it's a lot of things that I want to do that I just don't do because I just feel like I don't have the time to do it, but I actually do.
Yeah.
Um, and for some odd reason, I make excuses and not prioritize because I'm too worried about um, something not going right if I'm gone, or uh, you know, I don't know. I don't know. So and that's a fault of my own. And it's like I sit back every day and I be like, yo, I need to prioritize. I need to do this. I need to do that. But
Mhm.
um, I also feel at the same time that although I would like to make traveling and vacation a priority, um, for some odd reason, I don't make it a major priority because it's like when I think about traveling and stuff like that, it's like if I need to get away a weekend, day or two, or whatever, I can get away. Because my life is really not that stressful to where it's like I need to definitely make this a priority and just get out.
Yeah, I mean, As a single person, I was so spontaneous, meaning, I wake in the morning like, where do you want to go today? It's when I was living in Atlanta. So
Right.
I would get on the internet and say, or look up, like when was or where was the latest Food Network place where they recommend.
Mhm.
So shit, I would just jump on my bike and I'd be gone for hours
Mm.
and hours, or it was just one of those things where I really didn't give a damn. It was like every day was an adventure to me.
Right.
But after being married, everything damn near has to be planned because
Hmm.
it's damn near an orchestra to get everything together and smooth out right in order to
Right.
make things work. So
Right. Yeah. I get you. I get you on that, man. It could be trying, but you also I mean, we all have to make it a point to take care of that because as we know, when that time run out, that time runs out.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So partying and recreation recreational activities.
Um, I don't party too much, but I look at it like this. Me and my roommate, we have been making it a point to go hit a different restaurant every like Tuesday. Um, and that's cool because it's like, we get out, chop it up, have a couple drinks, have some food, head to the house. And that's cool. Because it's something. It's therapeutic. It's relaxing and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, recreational activities. I could definitely look at us doing this as a recreational activity. Um, and we definitely, regardless of what's going on, we definitely make this a priority to some degree. So I'm fulfilled with that. Outside of that, go fly my drone. That's another recreational thing that I make a priority to do. If need be, I will hop in my car and dip. I will dip. And people be like, damn, you always drive. Like, what was it, like a year and a half, 2 years ago?
Hmm.
Man, I was always burning up the highway. People was like, damn, you always going somewhere. And my thing was like, you know what? I gotta go. This like if I sit still, and it's kind of a contradiction to the travel and stuff, but um I always felt like if I don't go, I'm not gonna go. And as long as I have the opportunity to go, I'm gonna go. And I really need to get back to doing that because that was really fulfilling to me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like I said that's my theme when I was single. It's like I was always gone, always doing something. Um, my family would be calling me like, "Where are you at?" Like,
Right.
I'm
You
like,
always gone.
yeah, I might be in Atlanta, I might be in South Carolina, North Carolina. You just never knew where the hell I was gonna be. But
Yeah.
I'll say now, partying. Hell, I can't even tell you the last time I even went out. To
Phew,
be honest
no,
with you.
bro.
So recreational activities. Damn, that's another one. I couldn't even tell you the last time I did something recreational.
Wow. We need you to get it together.
Yeah, man. I'm
Get it
just
together.
doing life, man. Doing life. Work,
Mm,
family, work. That's it.
mm. I mean, so what about children?
Um, I'll say me and my wife both try to make our child the priority. Doing
Mhm.
something with him, whether it's teaching him something new or just getting out the house, going to the parks or um, shit, anything that involves a child at his age. That's what we do.
Mhm.
Well, how about you?
At this point, my youngest is 16. Um, my priority when it comes to him is, building his savings up, like his, his checking account, savings account, his stocks and all that stuff.
Mm.
um he's pretty good as far as, college goes, because I transferred my GI Bill over to him. um and other than that, if he needs something, wants something, just trying to, get it for him within reason. He's at the age where it's almost time for a car, but I'm kind of scared to get a car for him because he could barely take care of a damn iPhone. Um, look, I've given that joker like 3 iPhones in the last 3 years, and he's broken every one. So I'm like, dude, how do you break an iPhone? Like, how do you break a phone? I don't know. I didn't drop it. I'm like, yo, dude, when I gave you the phone, it was like perfect. And it's like, I'm scared to give him a car because I'm like, what are you gonna do with that? Oh man. And as far as my oldest, that's you know, I have no priorities when it comes to him, because it's like, at it comes a time in your child's life where you just got to be like, you know what, I tried. And you wiping your own ass the way you want to wipe your ass. You're not wiping your ass how I'm trying to tell you should wipe your ass. So my priority when it comes to that one is my peace of mind.
Definitely, definitely. As long as you're not like Kirk Franklin. That
Right.
was too funny, but I totally got it.
Hmm.
Retirement and planning.
Um, Building up that nest egg, man. I got my 401k with my job. Um, I got my thrift savings plan with the military. Try to, keep a good cushion in the bank. Um, yeah, that's about it when it comes to that. Because yeah, definitely got to build that nest egg, that cushion.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I am. I got 401k, few retirement accounts. Um, Again, putting back money for my son to go to FSU, which I'd rather he go to Alabama. But anyway, we're
Wait.
pre-planning or pre.
Did he say what school he wanted to go to? Like, is there a
Oh
debate?
no, his wife. I mean, my wife. So she's a fan of it. Um,
Hmm.
Me personally, I want him to go to Alabama, but because we live in the state of Florida and you know in-state tuition, might as well go with a great school, which we
Might as
don't
well.
live too far from. So,
Might as well.
but it's one of those plans that if he gets to that age to start attending college, if he don't want to go, he gets his money back. So
Right.
at
Okay.
that point, I will pray he's smart enough to do start a business or something along that line. Uh,
Hey, you never know. He might look both of y'all and be like, I'm not going to Florida State or Alabama.
uh,
I'm going to I'm going to Notre Dame.
that's true too. That's true too. But either way, he's good on that. So I don't have as many stocks, unfortunately, put back for him as much as I would like, but it's definitely in the budget to start next year
Hmm.
to start doing more than what I'm doing now. But um,
Yeah.
again, when you have a family, the bills have to be paid. So
Yeah. I mean, the good thing there is always low cost out of pocket options
yeah,
for stocks, definitely. So let's talk it about monetary.
all right,
Savings account versus checking, or both.
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 Yeah.
Hmm. Um, I really don't. I I really don't fool with my savings account like that. I have some dollars in there, but my issue with savings account is they don't have a lot of, they're not really good interest bearing accounts.
True.
Um, like with my 401k, you know, I look at that as a savings account, and that grows faster than a goddamn a regular savings account would. So, checking account definitely got to have that. You got to pay your bills.
Mhm.
Um, you know, so yeah, I have both. I recently just got rid of two financial institutions. Because for the longest, well, going back years, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get like three, four different bank accounts, and have my money here, 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 and let it grow, 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 grow. And
Mhm.
then my retarded ass realized that uh you spreading your money too thin. It's like you can't put $25 over here, $25 over here, $25 over here, and then you have your main account over here, and you're taking the money from this main account, putting it up, and it was just too damn much. Um, and I had did that for a while. Then I stopped doing that. Then a few years ago, I did it again, and then I'm like, I have, and the thing that got me was like, I have too many bank cards.
Right.
Like to me, it made no sense to have like four and five bank cards, one or two credit cards, and it's like that's retarded. So, yeah, I am down to two banks right now, two actual banks, um, and yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
That makes sense. I do business with three different credit unions, but
Hmm.
I don't have a bank per se on my line. I just do business with credit unions because I find that they have the best interest rates. So that's what I go with.
Hmm.
But I don't know. It's always smart to keep a little bit of cash. I feel on hand for emergencies.
Hmm.
Otherwise, everything goes in savings or checking.
Yeah. Um, I'm notorious for not carrying cash. I will honestly say, in the last 3 to 4 months,
Hmm.
I've been able to keep a reasonable amount of cash in my wallet. Um, I just got out of the habit of carrying cash. It's like for me, if it was cash in my wallet, I would spend it faster than using my debit card. Um, and it's crazy because it's like, hey, you need to keep a couple dollars in your wallet, but it was like, shit, that's money. I got to spend that. But with the debit card, I know that's like directly attached to my account, and I know if I use it, I'm probably going to be taking money from something that needs to be somewhere else. So, yeah. So, but lately I've been able to keep, a few dollars in my wallet. So, I mean, that's cool.
I have an associate of mine. He keeps three G's on him at all
Oh,
times.
hell no.
He's a business owner, but he keeps three G's on him at all times. And I asked him, I'm like, man, why do you keep so much, cash on you? He was like, well, in my line of business, I might see something I want to buy. So it's always good to have the cash on me so I don't have to run to the bank.
Just
Okay.
swipe a damn card. Like, what the fuck? I don't understand.
That's his thing, man. That's his thing.
I can't. One reason why I don't carry a lot of cash on me is because the what if. What if I drop my wallet? What if I lose my wallet? What if somebody snatches my wallet? With cash, it's like if any of those scenarios happen, somebody is instantly whatever how many dollars richer, and you're that many dollars less that money, or in whatever your situation is, you might be that much poorer. Um, with a debit card or a credit card or something like that, it's like, yeah, certain stores they can use it, but you know, I mean, if you're not caught up in a dangerous situation where you're stuck up or nothing like that, it's like,
Hmm.
hey, either call the bank or pull up your app and you can block the card out. All right, just get another card. It's just a minor inconvenience. But with cash, it's like, hey, Let me get that.
Yeah, there's definitely benefits to having a car because you can just call, cancel that, and be done with it. Again, like you said, it's gonna cause you a little bit of an inconvenience, but
Mm,
at the end of the day, at least that's money you're not going to lose if you cancel the car. But
right.
that cash is just gone.
Mm, yeah.
So rainy day funds, how many months of savings is enough?
Um, they say 3 to 6 months. I've never, ever, ever in my entire life been in a position to have 3 to 6 months of savings. Um, and it's not for lack of trying.
Right.
It's always been because this is how my life is set up, and look, it is what it is. Um, what determines the amount? Uh, from what I've learned and been told, um, whatever your monthly bills are, you should be able to have that, set away times 3 or 6.
Mhm.
It happens out there. In my brain, it's unrealistic. But some people, I mean, and that's the thing. If you were brought up in an environment where that was made a priority, and you were taught that, then it's nothing to it. It's that you got it. Um, but if you weren't, then it's not. Now, I do have the ability to make that happen.
Yeah.
Um, but I look at it like this: as long as I have that money in my 401k to where I can get to it if I need it, then I guess I can say I have 3 to 6 months, or well, I have a decent amount of savings. So if something happened, I'm good. So I guess it's available, but it's just not in my bank account. So I guess, yeah, I got rainy day fund.
Yeah, I would say that too. I have certain savings accounts or accounts that if I need to, absolutely need to go into them, I can get some money. But as far as like having 3 months, I will totally be honest with you. I can't say I'm there yet.
Right.
Again, I should be. I know I should be, but I just have other things that take priority.
Right.
Again, I will get there. I've been there in the past and loved it. It's a
Mm,
comforting feeling, but
mm.
uh, again, just not there right now.
Right. Right. Home ownership or rent?
I'm definitely for home ownership. And
Hmm.
only reason I can truly say that is because the home I have now, the damn value of that son has shot up since the
Hmm.
time I moved in, damn near about 20,000. So
Mm,
I'm for that.
mm,
Renting, when I was a renter, I loved it because it allowed me the flexibilities of, once my lease is up, if I don't like it here, I just move
hmm.
somewhere else.
Right.
How about you?
Um, I prefer home ownership over renting because I can say that it's mine. I know that the rent is not going to go up. Um, but as far as renting, I agree that flexibility. Like, if I want to stay here in a year or however long I stayed there, I could be like, you know what, I'm out of here. Um, so yeah. Now and the benefits of home ownership is, you build equity in your house. So that's an investment. It's yours. You don't have to worry about, a person upstairs, downstairs, or next to you making too much noise, or you don't have to worry about um, you being too loud for them.
All right.
Um, so yeah, the benefits of home ownership are great. And compared to renting, I look at it like this because I thought about getting rid of this goddamn house because, um, for a large amount of time after my divorce, it's like it's just me in a 5 bedroom house. Um, and that's just 5 bedrooms, not counting all the other space. And it's like
Yeah.
I'm looking around like, damn, I gotta furnish this motherfucker. And it's like, yo, and it's like I gotta furnish this motherfucker, but I really don't have to. And then it was like, but damn, if I furnish this motherfucker and I decide to get rid of it, now I'm stuck with a whole bunch of shit. And it's like,
Yeah, that part.
but then when I compare my mortgage to what rent is out there, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'd rather have this 5 bedroom house and pay what I'm paying as opposed to paying what I'm paying for a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment that has a lot less space. So that's definitely to me a benefit of home ownership.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I will say when I was renting was I learned the hard way. Um, you don't have to get the top floor
Mhm.
for your apartment. It's not necessary, especially when you trying to furnish it and load and carry all that heavy stuff. If you like real wood, don't go to the top floor. Stay on the
Mm,
stay on the bottom. It's okay if somebody's walking above your head. It's okay.
mm,
I
mm,
learned that the hard way, and I learned never rent in the first building coming into the apartment complex because that's when you hear everybody coming in and everybody going out.
mm.
But yeah, renting was cool.
Yeah, yeah, and renting is kind of cool. And to your point about not having to get on the top floor, I had a friend of mine, and she was like, "I want to be on the top floor because I don't want nobody walking over my head." And I'm looking at these damn stairs. I'm like, "But you got to carry groceries up there." Oh, I just have my son come by. When he come by, he can come get them. I'm like, and I'm looking at them. I'm like, so you go shopping, you take up, maybe a couple things, but you leave the stuff down for somebody else to come get it. And it's like, well, what was the point of you getting on the top floor? Because it sounds to me like you really don't want to be up there if you don't want to carry. If you don't want to carry that up there, what makes you think somebody else want to carry up there? And look, at this age, these knees, priority is the first damn floor. That's the priority because man, a flight of steps burns my knees up. So yeah, I ain't doing that. Mm-mm.
Yeah, man, that was my
But
line of
yeah,
thinking too. Was I don't want anybody walking over my head.
yeah,
Shit.
fuck that. I never had that. Mm-mm. Another benefit about apartments is that maintenance
Yeah,
and yard work.
yes, yes,
Being a homeowner, yeah, it's part mortgage versus rent. Yeah, I prefer a mortgage, but hot water heaters, uh, sump pumps, washers, dryers, all appliances. Look, when it's time for them jokers to go, you can't call the rental office and be like, "Hey, the fridge ain't working." All right, we'll replace it. Nah,
okay.
nah, whole new ball game out there.
Yes, sir. It's not just a simple phone call. Let's say.
Yeah, yeah, not at all.
So, what are some benefits? Well, we just answered that. Describe your approach to mental and physical health and self care priorities.
Um, I have learned throughout my damn years of all the drama and the bullshit that I've been through and I have put myself through that mental and physical health and self care are on the top of the priorities list. Um, I would even put that over money because if you don't have peace of mind, like if your mental space is not good, if your physical space is not good, and you're not practicing self care, having money in the bank ain't it means nothing. Um, and it didn't take long for me to figure that out.
Hmm.
Um, and you know, watching people around me years ago, I'm like, nah, I gotta no. Um, and even watching people now, I'm like, nah, cause it's like I have my things I worry about, but they're not priorities. Whereas I'm looking at other people and their priorities are the things that they're worrying about. And it's tough on them mentally, it's tough on them physically, and their self-care is shit. Um, and I think a lot of people need to make it a priority to get their mental space and their physical health in order. I mean, I'm not the greatest at it. I'm not going to sit here in front,
Right.
but for me, when it comes to self care and my mental health, it's like if people are the issue, I have to check out, and unfortunately I have to force myself to do better now because there are people around me who are like really getting to my mental space, and it's causing me to want to lash out really really bad.
Right.
So when it comes to that, my self-care is like really just I just kind of like just keep a mellow tone, and try to communicate with people who like make me laugh, or change my thoughts to something different, or whatever the case may be.
Mm, cool. I'll say for me, my mental health has always been then in my one priority over everything else, as far as taking care of myself. And
Hmm.
again, my family has a history of mental health issues, unfortunately. But I just felt like for me, um, that's something that I have to take upon myself to self check myself, as they say.
Hmm.
Meaning, the things that stress me out. It used to be a while in my life, younger years before I got married, that I would allow negative people or negative situations to
Mm,
exist in my life, trying to, appease those people or those situations.
right.
And then the older that I got, um, I just realized, you know what? 99% of the BS that's going on in your life right now has nothing to do with you.
Right.
So, take care of self first. So I uh, eliminated all of those situations, meaning I
Hmm.
had a stressful job, I had a stressful relationship, certain other relationships as far as friends who did not have my best interests at heart. I had to get rid of all of those. So
Hmm.
there was a time in my life where I destroyed everything, meaning
Hmm.
career, friends, romantic relationships, everything. I
Right.
got rid of fucking everything because I'm like, this shit is causing me too much damn mental anguish, and I just can't
Hmm.
allow myself to keep putting up with it. So
Right.
once I learned that, and again, that's when the physical health came in for me, and I was a gym rat. Like
Hmm.
I wasn't happy unless I went to the gym or was doing something physical damn near every day.
Right.
Um, but now at this stage of my life, I'm just now getting back to the point of including my physical health with my mental.
Mm.
My mental health has always been good. I always, you know, weed out all the shit in my life that I feel isn't necessary. Um,
Right.
but the physical health, I kind of let slide a little bit, but I'm coming back around to it. So.
Yeah. And to add one more thing onto that is,
Mhm.
as people, as caring individuals that we may be, you know, part of self care is letting people know that they are messing with your mental space.
Right.
Um, and you have to put boundaries and barriers up to that, or it's going to affect you. Like for real. Like I've been, going through dealing with that nonsense, and it's like I think it's been affecting my sleep, my patience, my tolerance, my irritability, and all of that. And it's like, um, you know, whether your self care is your self care has to be directed at you, but your part of your self care is letting people know, hey, you are part of the problem, and you might have to be out of my equation because you
Right.
are negatively affecting me. And a lot of people don't respect or appreciate that. And you just gotta let people know, because if not, they're going to be the cause of your decline in your personality, or whatever the case may be, and they're not going to give two shits about it.
Hell no. Not the first little bit.
Yeah.
So how do you prioritize your health maintenance though?
um as far as annual exams, there was a point I was getting three a year. One for my job, because at the time I was doing security. One for the military, because we had to do one every year.
Right.
Well, four. I used to get four a year, because for security we had to do one every 6 months. For the military, we had to do one a year, and then I would go to my regular doctor and get that done. So I'm big on annual exams. If I have the opportunity to get more than one, I will get more than one. Because I know that my blood sugar has been a little higher in these later years. My cholesterol has been a little higher in later years, and my blood pressure just fluctuates. Um, the last time that I last few times, whatever, a couple years, I've been, doctor told me I was pre-diabetic, and to me, that's like some scary shit. I do not want to be on any type of, meds. That scares me more than anything. And people who know me know I hate medicine.
Right.
Um, just like that's why I don't really trip on people who don't want the vaccine, because I don't know what's in it, this, that, and the other. That's how I feel about regular medicine, whether it's prescription or over the counter. I don't trust it. I don't know what's in it. I don't want it in my body. Um, that's just how I am. But if I have to take it, I will take it. So I mean, it's one of those things.
Yeah. Well, I'll say I'm I have a CDL license, so that's
Hmm.
one exam right there.
Right.
Um, and then every 6 months, I'll get a physical checkup or whatever. Usually, my doctor's always telling me to lose weight, but you know,
Right.
I'm handling that. I'm handling that.
Yeah.
So, as far as uh, health insurance, I
Mm.
definitely got that high on my list. Um, I have a friend of mine who
Hmm.
he doesn't have health insurance, and that's by choice because the company offers it, but he just chooses not to participate in it. And his reasoning is, I rather just pay out of pocket.
Oh hell no.
And I'm like, okay, but uh, I can't see going without it because you never know when some shit gonna happen. So
Does he have a family?
he does, but his wife carries her and their two kids.
And he's not on her health insurance?
Nope.
That's crazy. I'm like you. Health insurance is way up there.
Yeah.
Um, I make sure I've always made sure I've had it. I've always made sure my kids had it, because I mean, damn, you out of and the individual that you're talking about, I would venture to say he probably doesn't get an annual exam.
Probably not.
Um,
Uh,
that shit is expensive out of pocket. Um, yeah, I just don't understand why a person would not get health insurance, especially when you can get free health insurance out here in these streets. Like, come on, man. Nah.
yeah.
That's a priority for me because if something major happens, I don't have 20, 30, 40,000 for a procedure if I need it. You know,
Right.
I just don't have it. Thankfully I don't have copays with my insurance. So I mean, even if I get a referral to, whatever, I don't have to have that. I just went to I just had an appointment the other day for my knees and my back. Um, I went ahead and scheduled my colonoscopy. Also went and scheduled a sleep study for me. Something that I should have, followed up on a long time ago. But hey,
Mm.
annual exams, health insurance, I look, it's up there for me. Plus, I don't want any surprises.
Yeah.
I don't want to not have an annual exam and then something happened to me and the doctor said, well, when's the last time you had a checkup? Oh, it was like 3, 4 years ago. Oh, well, damn, you got high blood pressure, hypertension, you got diabetes, you got this, you got that. And it's like, damn, had I had health insurance, had I had, annual exams, I could have, take caught that earlier, taken care of it before it even happened. So yeah, and that goes along with dental insurance too. I get like I say, my dentist is the only woman I've never cheated on, and I've been seeing her since '97. Um, look, I have I schedule my dentist appointment, so I have my colonoscopy on the 20th. I have my dental appointment on the 21st. I'm good. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I'm like you. I really don't care for taking drugs. Never been a big fan of it. So anything I don't give a damn. It's just an aspirin. I just got to be in dire pain to take that
Yeah.
shit. To be honest with you, like I just can't stand. It. But his thing is he's more into investing his money into real estate. And I'm like, I get that you're trying to build, a real estate portfolio, but at the end of the day, if anything happens to you, you're kind of putting your families in harm's way. But
Yeah, like seriously.
to each their own. So ER versus urgent care.
Oh man, I hate the ER. Um, I'd rather go to urgent care, and I'm glad urgent care is a thing lately. Like I don't know when urgent care came around really, but urgent care is a phew, man, because you be sitting in the ER for days, like literally sitting in that joker for days. Um, but then I guess it boils down to whether you have health insurance or not, or I don't know. Um, you know, urgent care usually, in and out unless it's something major and they'll send you over to ER. But as long as whatever my issue is gets taken care of, I'm good with either. But if it's not serious, hey, I'll jump on the urgent care.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I stand on it. If I just had to go, I'd probably go to the ER. Uh,
Hmm.
Usually pretty fast down this way. But if it's something that's not dire need, I just go to dang urgent care. You know, let it ride
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah. So how do you prioritize self care? Is there a budget on your self care? Like, I mean, like when you look at what you have to do for self care, do you put a budget on it, or is it, hey, whatever I need to get me right?
I'm pretty much with the stance of getting what I need at the time that I need it.
Hmm.
So whether that's workout equipment or um, certain attire to help me uh, get in better physical shape, whether that's tennis shoes or jogging shorts or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
Again, is what I need at the time I need it, but
Right,
there's no real set priority with it.
right. I feel you. Um, I have a budget, but I don't have a budget. Um, I will honestly say I have a wasting budget, and I only say that because I've had um, a thing with Planet Fitness for like 2 3 years, and I've probably been in it like 10 times. Um, like literally, I've probably been in like 10 15 times in that amount of time. Um, I bought a weight bench. I got that's sitting outside in the shed. I think paid a good two 300 for the bench and the weights and shit. I probably been on that joker like 5 times. I think I got that. I think I got it earlier this year. Um, I got a row machine. Spent a couple dollars on that, and I've probably been on that twice, maybe.
Mhm.
Like seriously, yeah, yeah. So yeah.
Um, I'll say I've thought about getting a gym membership, but I'm not home like that, so it's kind
Mm.
of like it'd be a waste of money for me.
But whenever you go somewhere, like let's just say you did Planet Fitness, is there a Planet Fitness near wherever you be going?
Sometimes there are, but a lot of times there's not.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like I would probably be more upset because there's not.
Mm. Okay, I get you. I get you.
So is there a time frame?
Oh man, there's always a time frame when it comes to prioritizing self care. I was about to say it shouldn't be, but I think your time frame should be reasonable and appropriate for you. Um, like yeah, you shouldn't allow like shit to fester and bother you too long before you do something about it. Um, Stress is a silent killer, and if you don't do what you need to do to alleviate your stress, you never know. You can that's too much strain on your heart and on your mind and stuff like that. So I think there's always a time frame, but the time frame should be reasonable when it comes to that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that people have to realize, of course, that they're gonna tell you, to as long as you're happy with the body you're in, no
Right.
matter how out of shape you may be, to just be happy.
Mm.
I really disagree with that.
So do I. Definitely disagree with that.
Um, Not, putting the spotlight on any group of people, but I do feel that uh, mental health and physical health should be a priority in life.
Hmm.
Simply because me personally, I want to be around long enough to see grandkids if possible.
Right.
Not, at this stage of my life. So that's why I feel that mental and physical health are, a priority for me.
Hmm.
But again, to each their own. I just think that it's a good idea to keep your mental and physical health in mind.
Yeah, and it's to me, I think it's sad that a lot of people don't take that seriously. And to go along with that, when I look at that, I look at people being selfish. I feel like they don't give a damn about how that affects other people's mental health and physical health. Because um, if you see someone, someone, family, friend, love, significant other, or whatever the case may be, and they're living their life in a manner that and they know is unhealthy, and they just continue to do it, and and they do nothing about it. I say it's selfish because it's like I'm watching you do this, I'm saying something to you about it, and it's like, do you give a fuck? Do you take it seriously? It's like you don't realize what the impact is on the other person. It's like And that goes another with self-care. It's like, you have to get away from people like that, regardless of who they are, or regardless of how much you love them. It's like your headspace is more important than that.
I definitely agree with you on that. I mean, again, the thing about it is, you as a loved one, you always want the people around you that you care about to be in the best possible position that they can. So when you see them doing things that are destructive, even though it's just to them, you're still, influenced by that. You're
Yeah,
still impacted by that,
yeah,
because let's be honest, who wants to see their loved one go through bullshit, even if it's self-inflicted?
exactly. Exactly my point.
So,
Yeah,
it's one of those things, like you said, mentally you have to remove yourself from, that equation.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, how has COVID changed people's prioritization methods?
Evidently in a big way. Because some people are really enjoying this unemployment life right now.
Mm,
I Like I said, I travel for work, and everywhere I go, I see signs up saying help wanted, help needed,
mm,
hiring, accepting applications. It's like, God damn, really? But it just makes your awareness go up, by 10, as far as like what you touch, the people you come in contact with,
hmm.
so on and so forth. At least for me, it has.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It has really changed people's prioritization methods. And it's interesting to see the contrast with people, because some people are just still the same. Some people have made total 180s.
Mm,
Some people have done 360s, meaning they've changed and then went back to what it was.
right.
And some people is just all over the place. As far as positive effects, it's had a lot of positive effects on people, especially with education. Uh, it had a slight positive effect on me with education. Like, again, I took some classes, but
Hmm.
it just, my headspace wasn't there, and I didn't want to stress about it. Plus, I had other stuff going on, so it was like, hey, I'm good. I have other things that I can focus on, that you know what. And when it comes to that, it it has allowed me to prioritize things as far as house maintenance go, stuff
Right.
that I really never was able to really manage the time to do. I
Hmm.
was able to prioritize the time and put into those things, and I've gotten several projects done in the house.
Yeah, I think that some people were actually, like you said, able to take advantage of the situation. Meaning those who work from home, they had a little more time to get things done. Um, they only had to get half dressed.
Right.
So, uh, being able to work from home, gave them more time with their family, uh, particular projects. You know, some people just took full advantage of that. As far as like getting themselves in great shape or back in shape.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But I don't know. It's just a whole nother world now, as they say, with this situation that's going on. So,
yeah, yeah. Work. I mean, it's given me the opportunity to work from home, and I have enjoyed it for this year and however many months, going on 2 years. Well, March will make 2 years if we get that far.
hmm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, that's saved a few dollars because I don't have to drive up and down the road from here to DC as much, go through the toll and all that other nonsense. So I mean, it's had its perks.
Definitely. So, uh, unemployment compensation.
um, good for those who need it, sad for those who uh, are have factored that into their existence. What I mean by that is the people who rather get the unemployment compensation as opposed to going to work. Um, I get how for some people it's more money than they would have been making at work,
Right.
but for those who are on that and they don't want to go back to work because they're making a lot of money from it, they're the ones when it stops are complaining about, oh, I still need it, oh, I still need it. And there's no jobs out there, this, that, and the other.
Mm.
um I think those people need to get their priorities right. I completely understand not wanting to do certain jobs or not wanting to work at certain places because of the pay. But
Right.
the thing about it is, when that comes to an end, a complete end, what do you do then? Um, because you're going to have no choice but to go out and get those jobs that you didn't want to get. Um, and that also goes with the mortgage and the rent moratoriums where people have had the luxury of not paying rent or mortgage. Um, you got to look at the fact that if you're not prioritizing in order to take care of this, that, and the other, it doesn't only affect you. It doesn't only affect your family, because if you're not paying your rent or your mortgage, if you're not making it a priority for you to find a way to make that money to do that, then that means that person who owns that apartment complex or who you're renting that house from, they can't pay their rent or mortgage.
Right.
And if they lose it, then you lose it. And if you're not making it a priority, you like, what, not making it about them, paying what they got to pay for you to have a roof over your head. You have to prioritize you paying what you have to pay to keep the roof over your head, because if they lose it, it's not their fault if you can't live there. And I think, although for those who need it, rock out with it. But
Right.
you still have to prioritize and get out there and get on the job market. And I get that the pandemic has slowed a lot of things down, but you know, like for a person like me, when I go to Chick-fil-A and I'm sitting in there for, you know, 20, 35 minutes in the drive-through, and I'm like, yo, why the hell is this line so long? Why is it so slow? And I'm looking at the door, and the door is saying, hey, we're not doing curbside deliveries. We're not the dining room is closed. You can't come eat in because we don't have enough employees. I'm like, yo, people are complaining about jobs, and there's jobs out there. Priorities.
Shit, Chick-fil-A's paying like $15 an hour, son. What are
It's
you talking about? I remember there was a time where $15 an hour was pretty goddamn good. It's still pretty
pretty
good,
goddamn great.
shit,
Shit.
in my opinion. But I get it that people, are taking advantage of the situation in some circumstances.
Hmm.
But the thing that they have to realize, understand, is at some freaking point, those compensations are going to stop. They're going to end.
Hmm.
So again, where are you at that point?
Right.
Because you still gotta feed yourself, you still gotta feed your family, you still gotta have a roof over your head, as they say.
Yeah.
So once that, uh, eviction notice come in, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I really don't.
I don't know what to tell you at all. At all. Yeah. So has it had negative effects? Changes in mental health and depression mood.
Good question. I'll say yes.
Mm.
Simply because when you don't prioritize, it's kind of like you screw yourself.
Hmm.
Um, when you don't learn to put things in their proper order as far as what's most important to least important,
Yeah.
you could be doing something that again should be at the end of your list, and you're taking care of that, but the most important thing, meaning uh, holding down, your career or whatever, you let that slip. So again, it's kind of like you're screwing yourself because you haven't prioritized what's most important to least important.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think one of the biggest negative effects is it has caused or forced people to not know how to manage those things. Depression has been on a rise, suicide's been on the rise, domestic violence been on the rise. A lot of things have been on the rise because, you know, as a society, we ain't used to this. Um, I'm just happy that I was able to still work, um, and not be in a position to where I had drastic changes in my mental health.
Right,
I will honestly say, when things first started getting shut down, I was actually in Missouri for school for the military. Um, and to be out there dealing with it, it's like one thing, but it's like, I'm in school, and the worst that could happen was I would get stuck out there and have to stay on active duty or stuck in Missouri. That was like the worst that could happen. um but we got through that. It was a little stress, and it was a lot of changing and this, that, and other, but got through that. But getting back and adjusting to teleworking, bruh, I had always told myself I would never work from home because I was like, I'm a people person. I can't do it. I
mm,
was like, I don't know how people do it. I dated somebody several years ago who had a telework day built in her schedule every other week. And
right.
I'm sitting there like, I don't see how the fuck you do this shit. Like, she would log in the computer and be in the bed and be like, and I was like, nah, I can't do that. I'm not doing that. And then for me to actually start teleworking, it took me a good 3 to 4 months to get used to that whole concept. Like,
Right.
I was still getting up out the bed, the regular time, this, that, and the other. And it's like I would get out the bed. My alarm was set for like 4:45.
Hmm.
I would get out the bed 4:45 and be ready to go and be like, shit, log in the computer and go sit on my ass. It took me forever to get used to that.
Mm,
And it did affect me mentally. It was like, yo, I feel like I'm not doing anything. I was feeling all kind of ways. But then after I started getting in the swing of things, it was like, shit, this is cool. My mental health, my mental energy, it kind of sprung up. My mood was better. And then I looked at all the benefits that it was. It's like I don't have to drive 130 miles back and forth to DC. I don't have to put the wear and tear on my car. I don't have to get oil changes as often. I don't have to pay these tolls. I don't have to figure out what the hell I'm gonna wear, or you know, I don't have to. Yeah, but yeah, but some people can't handle it.
no, no, that can't. Um, I say several of my associates took them a while to actually adapt to, and not having to go to work.
Hmm.
Someone was like, "Man, I've been missing out.
Right.
Like this is the business right here." Um, but unfortunately, with my line of work, I never had that option. Not for
Mm,
real. But
shit.
anyway,
Wrong line of work, bro.
I'm cool with it. I like working on the outside.
Mm,
Um, but that interaction for us has changed to the point that there are certain customers we have to, keep our distance from.
hmm.
Um, it used to be, our customers would meet us on site.
Hmm.
before our job started, but now they we either send one person out to unlock the gate or unlock the facility for us, and we go in and do our thing, and then they come in and lock everything up behind us. But 9 times 10, we lock everything up, so they don't even have to return to the site.
Right.
But things are they're okay now.
Hmm.
As far as our interaction with our customers, we again try to stay as cautious as we can and protect ourselves the best we can. But there are certain situations where you just have no other choice but to talk to the customer face to face.
Mm.
But anyway, it's just one of those things you learn to prioritize things as they
Yeah.
way.
You're right. But what about the lack of social interaction in person? What about the negative effects of that?
The biggest thing for me that I find is just our family gatherings.
Hmm.
Because when you come from a tight knit family, you're used to getting together with your family throughout the year.
Right.
Um, and when it goes to a situation of you damn near only see each other during funerals,
Hmm.
then that
If
definitely,
you can do that.
yeah, if you can do that, it definitely changes your mental aspect of how you take in things as far as that interaction with your family.
Hmm.
um, Friends, we get together, but again, it's not like all of my friends that are the people I consider friends or live close by. They're all like yourself,
Hmm.
several states away from me or something like that. But it was funny. I was talking with a close friend of mine yesterday, and we were talking about getting together. So it's kind of like our lives are so busy that we're having to schedule time to see each other. That's how
Right.
busy we both are.
Hmm.
But I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah. As far as how I look at that, it's been a drastic change. Do I find it negative? In some aspects, yeah. Especially if you're used to gathering with people all the time.
Hmm.
Um, for those who had to adjust to that, I know it was really, really, really hard. For me, I was pretty much good either way. Um, like for real, unless there's a gathering or something, I'm good chilling by myself. I actually sometimes prefer it more unless I have a specific need.
Right.
Um, but for me, before the pandemic, I would go happy hour by myself. Um, Hop in my car and go somewhere by myself. So it really wasn't that much of a problem. Um, but even with that, after I came back from Missouri, I was in Missouri from March to April. When I came back, shit, I was having small gatherings at the house. So, I mean, the social interaction was still there. I
Right.
think, um, I think the biggest negative thing about that is although even if you did have a gathering, the biggest negative thing about that is the worry and the what if somebody don't know they sick and I get sick, or what if somebody knows they sick and don't say nothing, and then they come around and I get sick. You had all of that to deal with. So I think that was a big negative impact on that. And the other thing is a negative and a positive. uh is people who are not techie people
Right.
having to learn how to use technology, Zoom, FaceTime, and all this other stuff. Um, I think that was a challenge for some, especially those who are not really into it. I know it's a frustrating learning curve, and that probably caused a little stress for them, unnecessary stress, or whatever the case may be. But not all minor. Some people blew a gasket over it. So I mean, yeah, people had to deal with that on that end.
For sure. Well, that's going to be the conclusion of this segment of the King and I Life podcast.
Yes, indeed.
And we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Um, and this a good conversation about priorities.
Yeah, man. Look, it doesn't matter if it's a pandemic or whatever the case may be. Um, but since we are in this pandemic, I would say take the time to get your priorities together because at some point it's going to be over, and I would say it's more productive to line your priorities up now. That way, when this is over, it'll be a smoother transition as opposed to, hey, I don't know how long this shit gonna last, and then when it's over, it's like, oh, I wasn't ready. So, get the priorities straight out there.
Definitely. I'll just piggyback off of that and I'll say this is, some people say, a bad time in history. I think it's one of the greatest times in history.
Oh yeah,
And the reason I say that is because it's really coming down to actually learning to put their priorities in their proper, you know, representative place,
yeah, definitely.
from what's important to least important. Um,
Yep.
I will say that now is one of those times. If you're tired of working for someone else or another company, or making someone else wealthy, it's one of those times where you should be really working on your own shit on the side. Meaning,
Definitely.
if you have an idea for a business or an invention or a service, whatever it is that you feel you would be better at and get more enjoyment out of life, meaning making your career something fun for you, I would suggest taking this time to do that, because this
Yeah.
is, again,
Prime time.
yeah,
Prime
the
time.
best times in life right now to get your shit together. Like uh, Soul Toucher was saying, set your damn pins up so you can knock them motherfuckers down later.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and as far as making your mental and physical health and self care a priority, find something to do. Um, take a walk, man. Especially look, if you teleworking, you have no reason not to take a walk. Um, I recently ordered like two 1,000 piece puzzles, so that's gonna be a part of my self care. I know people be like, "What the like you puzzle?" Like, look, self care, self care. Look, I'm telling you, self care. Whatever. Like, get a camera, go take some learn a skill.
Yes, sir.
Self care. Get them priorities in order, and that's all I got.
Definitely, definitely. I can't add any more than that.
Yeah, definitely go to the website www.KingAndEyeLife.com. You'll find links to all our podcasts and all that other stuff. So
Okay.
that's
One,
all I got.
one more question before we go.
What's up?
Have you taken the time to put your books there yet?
I got to work on that.
Okay. So again, let's big up these books that you have taken time to write, and
Yeah,
we've gotten a little bit away from promoting those, but we need to get
yeah,
back to that. So
yeah. Yeah, so go on Amazon and pick those books up. Taste My Poetry, Taste My Soul, Ballads of a Poeteer, and the Book of King, Thoughts, Quotes, and Invocations. Um, Speaking of that, I need to try to get my fourth book wrapped up before the end of this year. I'm gonna try to have it done by the end of October. That way, it can be book sales can be included in my taxes when I file next year.
that's it. That's it right there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thanks
And
everybody for tuning in, and until next time.